Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, guys. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching this live webinar. If you're watching it in replay, do not forget to check it out, the lifetime deal of Codelia CMS on PitchGround.com. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in for yet another episode of PitchGround Product Webinars, where we bring in amazing products. And this webinar is all about another incredible tool. So stay tuned. I'm very much excited for the today's live webinar because in this webinar, we will show you how to automate your development and marketing and launch faster with Codelia CMS. Guys, you want to launch a website or e-commerce store or mobile apps, but don't have time to manage multiple platforms for multiple channels. Most content systems are difficult to use or making it hard for businesses to change their websites or create new content. Launching a website or e-commerce store or mobile apps can take weeks or even months of work if you're doing it with non-optimized content platform. So what you need is you need a content management system that is easy to use, very fast, should be very fast, right? Obviously, and flexible while managing your projects and content and everything, right? So have you searched any platform like that? If you don't know, so we have a solution for you that is Codelia CMS. So what you can do with Codelia CMS, you can visually model your content and deliver it fast on any platform without writing a single line of code. So guys, without further ado, let me welcome our guest, Eduardo, CEO and founder of Codelia CMS, and Usman Malik, content management specialist. Eduardo, if you can just take a moment to introduce yourself and share your journey with Codelia CMS. Before we dive into it, that would be fantastic. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Wapni, for the introduction, and hello to everyone. And I'm Eduardo, and I'm from Italy, so I'm calling from Italy. And yeah, I'm the CEO and founder at Codelia. And Codelia, as a Headless CMS, was born thanks to my past experience as a web developer. I was a freelance web developer working with many projects. In the web development field, so such as websites, e-commerce, custom web applications, and so on. And I was part of many teams on many agencies, essentially. And we were working with popular CMSs that you can find out there, such as WordPress, the most common one, PrestaShop, Magento, and so on. And we were facing some issues during the marketing side of things, inside the marketing side of things, while creating, modeling, and managing the content, and also during the development process. So the marketing team and the content team needed to ask developers help each time there was the need to create, update, and structure in another way, or update a content model. By working with these traditional content management systems. And so as developers needed to ask to add pieces of code inside the projects. And this was bringing to a lot of time, a lot of money, budget, and we were launching slower our projects and our sites. So I decided to develop Codelia in order to create more synergy between the marketing and development team, to automate the marketing process and the content creation process. So Codelia has all the authoring tools needed to create, model, craft, manage, and update content without touching any line of code, through a visual and intuitive, powerful and fast backend. Where it's possible to manage multiple projects from one single workspace and then deliver the same content on multiple channels and devices. And by channels, I mean, for example, also social media platforms or social media channels. And by other devices, I mean, for example, native mobile apps on smartphones, on mobile phones, or web applications, native desktop applications, even Alexa skills, smartwatch apps, and so on. So there are a lot of use cases where to bring the content to. Yeah, so Codelia can automate the marketing and the content creation and modeling process from one side. From the other side, it empowers also the development team because it's possible to develop with any tech stack, programming language, and framework. But the development side, it's possible to run faster, essentially, and to create synergy between the marketing and development team, and to launch the entire projects faster. So now I can give the word to Usman, and he will show you some in a more deeper way all the benefits and the characteristics of Codelia through a presentation. And after that, I will show you the real platform and how it works and the features. And
Awesome.
and then we can have a question and answer time.
Yeah. I think it's time to deep dive into the product itself because we are really excited to learn more about it. Yeah, over to you, Usman. You can share your screen and just showcase the product to everyone. That would be great. And guys, we will have a Q&A session at the end, and yes, giveaway as well. So stay tuned till the end because I would like to see who is the winner of giveaway for the today's product show. Yeah, over to you, Usman. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, your screen is visible. Awesome. Yeah. You can walk through us.
Thank you, Swapnil. Thank you, Eduardo. My name is Usman Hafiz. I'm a software engineer by profession. And for the past 5 months, I've been working alongside Eduardo with Codelia in order to upscale this business, upscale this startup that we've started in order to help more and more people that are connected directly with this community. So let's just dive right in. Our company is actually called Codelia. Our mission is to be the most is to become a most versatile system for creating and distributing digital content to any device, application, or channel. So, what is a headless CMS?
Sorry to interrupt you, Usman. Your voice, I think so. You kept your mic, you're near to your mouth, so that's the reason you're.
Okay, I'm sorry. Am I audible right now?
Yeah, it's perfect now. It's perfect.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm sorry for that. So, what is a headless CMS? Everyone agrees that having several binds working together is much more effective and efficient than having just one. Thus, this is essentially what a headless CMS is all about. Despite the fact that the name headless contradicts this claim, being headless does not necessarily mean that it does not have a head. Instead, it has multiple heads. A new class of content management system called the headless CMS is gradually taking over the industry. And traditional CMSs like WordPress, Drupal, Joomla, and many more have been replaced by it. With the content and output of the software being separated, it is more commonly referred to as a software as a service. In this scenario, the output would be a website, a mobile app, a web app, or any other application. The beauty of a headless CMS is that you can have multiple heads, or simply put, the display layers, and switch them out whenever you please without having to reauthor your content. Essentially, the head is the output and the body is where the content is stored and authored. So basically, this means that the content does not need to be directly connected to the front end. Then you can use a content API, which is more commonly referred to as an application programming software, to channel that content to anywhere and everywhere you might need it. It can be your website, your mobile app, your email marketing, or any CRM. So what is Codelia? In contrast to the traditional CMSs, Codelia is a content platform that simply manages the backend and serves as a content repository. This implies that you will not only need to upload your content once to Codelia, yet by using APIs, you will be able to distribute it to a variety of channels. This includes multiple websites, social networks, smartphone apps, and others, even social media channels. Thanks to the no-code integration, Codelia can deliver social media content on multiple social media channels simultaneously with just a click of a button. This improves workflow optimization that gives you the ability to create 5 times faster. That requires less effort and less team members, thus reducing the overall development costs. Since the content in this scenario is not bound to any particular display layer, it gives the developers more flexibility to work without any development constraints. They can create website and applications using any technology they wish. Either that can be JavaScript, Python, HTML, CSS, or many others. Also, a single piece of content can be reused with multiple presentations, which helps in the faster completion of projects, and the integration of third-party tools and other current and upcoming technologies is easy, which not only makes it future-proof, but also enables the content to be extended to any device to scale your projects. Okay, so let me give you an overview or differentiate between a traditional CMS or a headless CMS like Codelia. Traditional CMSs are related to a specific single output, such as a website. Let's imagine you utilize WordPress as a CMS to publish content on your pages, manage workflow, or even develop content. Unfortunately, the content in this situation is linked to a single output and is unfortunately not reusable. Codelia is designed to provide you the freedom to select as many heads or display layers as you would like to produce structured content which is delivered to multiple platforms. In reality, you might want to choose to have a different content for voice assistants, your e-commerce website, or possibly your mobile apps. This means that all your material is in one location, which is ready for omni-channel output, which is not only reusable, but also requires a single authorization. It also works much more quickly than any conventional CMS, but it comes with more security. And finally, a possibility to link with many other platforms. Through Codelia's integration through Zapier, users can publish their content simultaneously through multiple social media platforms, as I mentioned earlier. So this is basically a visual representation of how the backend content is first developed. Then with the help of APIs, it is channeled across multiple platforms like websites or an e-commerce store. Okay, so now let's just discuss the key benefits of Codelia. Codelia helps you deliver content to multiple channels, as I already discussed. The content is created, edited, stored, previewed, and published in the same place, reusing your content without having to rewrite a single piece of code, thus optimizing your workflow and help you produce more and more. It also helps you to create content without the need of developers. You can integrate any tool and extend to any device to scale your projects. It is also easier to publish information across different channels, such as websites and social media platforms, with a new feature that we have just introduced, the integrations with a company like Zapier. Okay, so the main use cases of Codelia. Number one, the websites. By building a website with Codelia, you gain the flexibility in terms of designing and maintaining content, as well as the ability to integrate any external tool to extend your functionality. One of the major benefits of creating a website with Codelia is that it allows you to create the SEO, to increase the SEO and loading speed of your web pages through the Codelia integrated API. Secondly, e-commerce. Codelia allows you to create an e-commerce website quickly and with 100% flexibility. There are built-in e-commerce capabilities to track orders, customers, handle shippings and payment methods. Even develop a custom checkout check-in flow to manage coupons and much more. Web applications. You can create a web application to extend your e-commerce experience, making it more powerful and more useful in performing complex tasks that you can usually cannot perform with standard websites. Through the web application, it is possible to construct a dedicated admin area within the website. For example, customer may access specific information or task or a specific task We can also use Codelia to make mobile applications as well. A mobile application can assist individuals and customers in the same way a website can. It allows users to keep track of information they can quickly access. They can view new products, services, collect them, and check out without using a computer. They may also track their orders, check the status of their shipments, and much more. Smartwatch applications. Codelia also brings digital experience even on a smartphone app and lets you wear it. If you create a website or an e-commerce website with Codelia, you can bring the content or products into a smartwatch app that allows users to read specific information, access features, or buy products directly from the smartwatch. So, should you switch to Codelia or continue with a convention CMS? Being a digital agency, we believe that this is a proper course to take. It is far more efficient, secure, and easier to manage content than any other CMS. Organizations who invest a lot of time in publishing their material, those who are working on that, should think about going headless. That's pretty much it from my side. I'll request Eduardo to show you the actual implementation of Codelia. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Usman, for the great introduction of what Codelia does and what Codelia can help developers and the marketing teams to sync their operations and manage everything from the single application that is Codelia CMS. And it was great to know about more about it. And we are very, very excited now to see the live platform, how to implement all those and how to create a website and how to manage the content from Codelia. Over to you, Eduardo.
Sure, thank you very much. And okay, so let me just share my screen. Okay. Okay, so this is the dashboard of Codelia. I'm already logged in as my account and inside the admin area of Codelia, and this is our dashboard where we can track essentially all the details about our plan, our current plan, and our sites created, the users, and so on. So as I was talking earlier, we have the possibility to manage multiple sites, and by sites I mean projects, from one single workspace. So here we can essentially, as you can see, have many websites, many e-commerce stores, many projects in a more general way, and we can add new projects and manage these projects on their own way. So we can also go ahead and add users. We can add user roles and collaborate with our teammates. We can add user roles based on some specific permissions. We can, for example, give to a user role the permission to create or only read the sites and the projects. Do the same thing for users and also with security. We have also security features built in, so we can track directly from here which are the successful logins. So we can track the users and our teammates that will log in successfully inside the platform, and also the failed logins. So here we can track some, for example, brute force attacks or stuff like that in order to prevent this. And we can see if a real user is attempting a failed login, or if a random user, so a user non-registered inside Codelia, is attempting to log in to our platform. We can block IP, and we can manage security settings to automatically block IPs after a maximum number of failed logins, and receive also live security email alerts. But let's come back to the site management, to the project management. Obviously, these are only test projects, and if we click on manage, we can manage every single project from a dedicated dashboard. and from a dedicated panel. So this is my first project and my first site, and here we have a menu regarding all the features of Codelia. So let's start by talking about how content works in Codelia. We have essentially pages. Pages are unique pieces of content, such as the home page of a website, the about page, the contact page, a services page, and so on. So unique pieces of content with different content structure for each one. So if we go inside pages, we can have, for example, the home page, the about page, the contacts page, the projects page, and so on, any other page that we want. And we can essentially model the content by adding controls, so essentially input fields, to every single specific page. I can click inside controls and I can model the content structure of my home page. So in this case, we have a control called the content, an image, and a text box. I can add the new controls to the home page, and I can choose the control name, the control type. I can add, for example, text field, text area field, and so on. We have many control type, and I can choose some different options in order to model and to restrict the content management and the content creation. I can also give a layout to this control in order to match the visual backend, and so on. So these controls are related only to the home page. If I come back to the pages and I go inside the controls of the about page, in this case we have no controls, no page controls. So from here I can create a new content structure only for the about page from scratch. So I can add, for example, another content field, another image field, and so on. And this is how pages works. How a page works. Elements work in a little bit different way because elements are just repetitive items, such as products or blog posts, as you can see from the screen, with the same content structure, but with different content. So think about two blog posts. Each blog post will have the same content structure of every other blog post, but the content of each single blog post is different. So the first blog post will have a title and will be called my first blog post, for example. And the second blog post will have another title, and so on. So the same content structure is applied, but the content changes. Let's do a quick example. Here I have my blog post. I have two blog posts. If I edit this blog post, I can see a content structure. So I have the title, SEO title, description, and many other options, and the content. All of these controls are the same for each blog post. If I add a new one, the content structure and the contents are the same, and so on. So this blog post element has a specific content structure managed through controls that I can see here, these specific controls. And each blog post will have these specific controls, while the product element will have other controls, such as you can see here. And so if I go inside elements, I can see my products, and I will have another content structure dedicated only for elements, only for products, sorry. And if I add a new product, the content structure will be obviously the same, as I told here. So we can also group all of our elements through groups. So for example, I can group my products or my blog post through categories, tags, some specific I don't know, options, and so on. I have total flexibility to do what I need in terms of grouping items and single elements. Let's let's see some real use cases inside Codelia. So this is a new feature just introduced today, and this is available inside every plan and administration of Codelia. So we can access pre-built content templates essentially. What are pre-built content templates? Are just pre-built content structures made from pages, elements, and controls related to some specific project types. So we have, for example, a content model for business websites, blog website, portfolio, event, and so on. So we can, for example, select this specific content model. So let's assume that I want to create a business website, and I don't want to go ahead to add the pages and elements manually. I can add all the pages on element and on all the elements related to a business website in a more general way, obviously, with one click from here. So here I will have some pages related to a business website, and I can obviously enter inside the controls, see all the controls, and update, manage, add, delete, whatever. I can do whatever I want. I can personalize and customize everything from here. And the content models helps to help to understand a little bit better how the content is working in Codelia. So by going ahead, we have many other features, such as features regarding the online store, so e-commerce features, and the possibility to check the SEO, to have a calendar, a content calendar, an event calendar, to manage tasks, and so on and so on. For example, we can go inside settings, and we can change our site type. This is only remember that this is only a starting point. We can change if we are working on a classic website or any commerce in order to activate all the commerce features, and we can also set the API token in order to obviously access the API. This is only a starting point. So this doesn't mean that if here I choose website or I choose e-commerce, I need to create a website or an e-commerce. I can start from a website or an e-commerce and then extend to everything else, such as we were talking earlier about, for example, mobile apps, smartwatch apps, and so on, through the API. So let's dive inside the e-commerce features. We have the orders management, customers management, inventory management, checkout flow, shipping methods, and payment methods. So we can track everything inside Codelia. So we can collect directly orders and customers inside it. Manage the inventory in order to update, bulk update some specific options and some specific content regarding some products. So, for example, we can set up the inventory through by having an element called products. In this case, we don't have one. That's not a problem. And we can manage coupons in order to create a coupons code, essentially. And we can also add the shipping methods, payment methods, and so on. Now, payment methods can be connected with any other payment provider through a simple Zapier integration. So by connecting Zapier with Codelia, it's possible to connect a real payment method with Codelia. So, for example, it's possible to connect Stripe, PayPal, and so on. Because when we are adding a payment method here, as well as a shipping method, we are adding only content. We can extend our content and connect our content with any other platform by custom integration, essentially, by working with custom integration, or by working with no-code integrations that's available with Zapier, even for free. And we can go ahead to see the SEO. We can track here, essentially, if there are some SEO errors in order to have everything tracked. And we can see if there are too short SEO titles, too long or missed. Same thing for SEO descriptions. And we can see also if there are no indexed elements or pages. The more general way, non-indexed content. We can just view all the too short SEO titles and with one click edit the selected page or element. We have also a content calendar where we can add events, include our teammates as attendees, add the start date, end date, start time and end time, essentially. And we can track our planned content. If we plan some content for a future publication, we can see the content here, essentially, the piece of content here. And we can track off everything from here, from a calendar view, essentially. We have also the task management, so we can track our time during while performing a specific task by assigning, for example, a category and assigning that task to a specific teammate. And we can just track the time and track if a task is done or not, essentially. And here we have some integrations regarding the Zapier. In this case, we are integrating currently with Zapier as no-code integration platform, and we can directly select one of these integrations. So, for example, HubSpot, and then we know will be opened to Zapier, where we can integrate Codelia with our Zapier account without coding required. Now, I want to show you a little bit of API for those who are technical people and who have a development knowledge, or even a little bit of development knowledge. And from here, from the settings page, we have our API token. We can generate our API token, update it, and see the API endpoint. And through Postman, for example, we can do some testing regarding the API. So, for example, we can retrieve our pages just by copying this endpoint, and obviously based on the documentation, we can, and the knowledge base, we can just read our pages by including our authorization token. And here we have our pages. Then we can call this, obviously we have also some filters. We have the possibility to limit the results, to search some specific pages based on some specific control values, and so on. All of this is well documented inside the knowledge base. And we can also integrate this API with any technology stack or framework. So we can use for example, a classic programming language like PHP, or we can use a framework like React.js, Next.js, and so on. We can integrate everything, and we can, thanks to the API, we can deliver the content on multiple devices. So once the API will be integrated with all the devices that we need to deliver content on.
Okay, so there is no restriction on the platform or the development language or development stack that we are using. So it can integrate with anything, and we can manage everything from Codelia, right?
Exactly, exactly.
Awesome.
And through Zapier, it's possible also to use, for example, no-code page builders, no-code page builders tool available out there, and integrate Codelia in order to display the content on a no-code page builder, for example, in order to use Codelia even without technical knowledge.
Can you please elaborate more on that stuff?
Yes. For example, Zapier, on Zapier are available more than I think 5,000 apps, and there are also many website builders, no-code website builders. One of them is Webflow, for example. And through Zapier, we can integrate Codelia and share the content that we write on Codelia on our front-end solution, such as a page builder.
Okay. So the front end made with Webflow can be managed through Codelia instead of using their backend system or their CMS. We can use Codelia as a CMS for the Webflow pages or for the Webflow sites, right?
Exactly. And in this case, obviously, the backend of Codelia is different based on the Webflow backend, because Webflow is just a page builder in reality. It has also CMS features, but for a content development, content modeling, content creation side, Codelia has more features regarding that. So it's possible to integrate these two, how to say it, these two related tools.
Got it. So are there any examples or the use cases like I like this about the managing the front end from the Webflow and managing the backend or the code or whatever CMS thing, you can do it with Codelia. So are there any other use cases that you would like to share? Because some of the people might be non-techie people, right? So they are still scratching their head how they can use it, Codelia, in their workflow, how they can leverage development process, how they can leverage marketing automations, or they can foster the marketing process by using Codelia. So that would be great if you share those use cases to just simplify the process of using Codelia in their workflows.
Yeah, about the marketing side of things, you can, as you saw, you can essentially model content without touching any line of code. So if you are a non-developer, essentially, or you don't have development knowledge, you can, or you use Zapier or any code integration like that in order to integrate Codelia with another front-end solution that doesn't require coding, essentially, or development. Or if you have maybe a little bit of development knowledge, or if you have, if you don't have any, you can, for example, literally hire a developer for 1 hour and let the developer connect Codelia through the API to all of your projects. So if you are delivering, if you need to deliver content on a website and also on a mobile app, once the Codelia API has been connected for the first time on both devices, there is no more need to touch the code again. So literally in just some minutes, it's possible to connect Codelia, even with a pre-built template. So the use case could be for non-tech people. You can buy an HTML template, for example, from a marketplace like ThemeForest, and you have all of your front end already built, and you can connect the API with some lines of code. And we have real sandboxes, live sandboxes working on our website inside the integration page. And we can, so essentially, you can see how Codelia is integrated with the most popular programming languages. So for example, with PHP, and you can just literally copy and paste the code, change your endpoint, and so on. And you can also check the API documentation, the API live testing on Postman, because from today it's also available on Postman. And it's possible just to copy a code snippet and paste it inside your project in a pre-built template, for example, and then change your settings. For example, the authorization token and API endpoint, obviously. And by the other hand, if you can just hire a developer for one time, and with a very small budget. After that, you can manage all of your content without touching any else code no more.
That's a nice use case, guys. You can download any HTML template or whatever script that you liked on Theme Forest or the Code Cannon. You can download it. Sometimes what happens is the non-techie person just see the beautiful websites or the templates on Theme Forest or the Code Cannon, but they are not using those because they are not WordPress theme, right? But they want to really use it. So in that cases, if you want to manage those sites, or if you want to have those kind of sites by using the HTML ready-made templates or the PSD templates, right? In that cases, Codelia would act as a CMS to manage entire content on your site, right? So you can plug Codelia with those HTML templates, and you can manage everything from a single platform, right? Everything. For example, if you want to build an e-commerce store, you can do that. If you want to just maintain a landing page, or if you want to create a multi-pages site, that you can do, you can manage with the help of Codelia. One more use case I would like to tell you that, for example, you have an e-commerce website or the web store, right? And you want to develop an Android or iOS store. So in that cases, if you want to sync everything together, right? So in that cases, Codelia will act as a single point of contact to manage your three different sources. For example, your web store, your web app, and your Android store or your iOS store, right? So you can manage content, you can manage e-commerce stuff like adding product, multiple things, whatever comes under the e-commerce thing, right? You can manage that from the single platform that is Codelia. So no need to rush for, or no need to be dependent on different platforms to manage different content for your different platforms. So in that cases, the Codelia is the only solution for you. So this is the lemon example that I can give you, because I'm a little non-techie. So whatever things that you're explaining, I'm just trying to understand that. Okay. And guys, so one more example, for example, you can manage multiple stores from one place. Like I said, you can manage web store, you can manage web apps, you can manage Android or iOS store, even though you can manage multiple sites. Okay, not only web applications and the Android applications, but you can manage multiple stores from a single place and create content structure from scratch and plan, review, update content in minutes, not in hours, because it will help you to model content. It will help you to, curate content. You can also schedule, because there is a feature called calendar, right? So in that cases, if you want to schedule any content, for example, any festival is coming and you want to add those products on your site, or if you want to showcase any banner on your site, so in that cases, you can schedule that content. It will be auto published on your site without doing anything, right? And one more thing that Eduardo has shared, like if you're a non-techie, still you are not able to understand what can be done, in that cases, you can hire a developer. That person will integrate everything with Codelia, and then onwards you can take it up further. You can manage the content by using Codelia. So that is also a use case. If you are a fresher, non-techie, you don't know how to use the APIs, you don't know how to code the system, you don't know how to integrate and how to automate the things. So in that cases, you can hire a person by paying a one-time fee, and you can manage everything, because managing a content or placing a content from a different hosting it on a different server or hosting it on a different platform, it boosts the website speed, it boosts the overall SEO content, because what happens in WordPress, everything is managed by a single platform, that is your hosting, right? So you manage content, you manage your site, you upload content, you optimize your pages, then every load is coming on your hosting, right? That's the reason most of the companies, most of the people, most of the developers who wants to make their sites faster, who wants to rank their content even faster without optimizing, without adding any plugins, right? So they use the Headless CMS. What they do is they host their front end on a hosting or on a they keep it on a different platform, and they manage content from a different platform, which which gives you the maximum speed, because the content is managed from the different platform or a different location, and your site is managed from a different platform or a different location. In that case, is everything is synced together, and which helps you to load your websites even faster than using everything in a single platform. So that is one more use case, or one more, what I can say, the feature or the use case of using Codelia like CMS, or the headless CMS, I can say, to be more specific. And you can automate everything, because no need to rush for different platforms to manage everything. It's there in the single platform. So by integrating other third-party applications like through Zapier, or if you want to integrate your email marketing, email marketing software or the tools, you can do so with the Codelia CMS. So over to you, Eduardo.
Yeah, that's perfectly correct, Swapping. And yeah, I'd like to say that you are also free to host your front end, your final project on any server, on any hosting, and you're completely free because Codelia is a cloud, and you can connect the API with your project and then host everywhere, and then host it everywhere. Essentially, so you are completely free. And in terms of loading speed, and obviously loading speed means also a better SEO and a better user experience. So the fact is that the Codelia API is faster than a classic WordPress installation, because Codelia is separated from your front end and from your final project. So the loading speed will be from the server side will be even faster. Obviously, you need to optimize the front end, your template. You need to make sure to add optimized images, to add your styles in an optimized way, and so on. And then with the help of the Codelia API, you can literally get grid scores on popular tools like GTmetrix, for example, and load in your pages in 1 second. Literally, you can just navigate our website that's built with Codelia in order to see how it loads faster between the pages. And yeah, so
we got some questions, so we'll pick it up, and then we will move forward with the demonstration that you want to say. So Hugs were asking, like, how will Codelia affects the speed of the website, that you have already answered. And it's really impacts, because you're managing your front end and your back end from a different platforms, right? So that's the reason it loads fast. So your server has a little less load, because the server is not loading content from your hosting server, because you're managing it from a different solution, right? Or a different hosting, I can say, to be simplified enough, right? So in that case, is obviously your site will load faster, even though we can, guarantee you that your site will load within 1 to 3 seconds. That's a huge thing, right? Because WordPress sites are eating a lot of server resources, and it takes hell lot of time to load it. And that's the reason there are multiple plugins to optimize your site, right? And you have to pay for that. So if you're using a front end if you're hosting it on if you're hosting your front end on a different hosting, and if you're managing content with Codelia, that solves everything. No need to install any plugins. Everything is managed with the CDN, with the high speed API calls, endpoints, everything, right? So that's it from our side. And we'll pick up the next question. Mosam is asking, like, can we add Google Search Console and Google Analytics with Codelia?
Yes, you can integrate it with tools, because Google Analytics and also Google Search Console relies on your front end and on your final project. So when you are working with your template, you can just copy and paste the snippet of Google Analytics, for example, and then connect also Google Search Console and any other analytic tool, such as Hotjar, for example. Yeah, just by copying and pasting the snippet on your front end and on your project. So yeah, you don't have the need to add the snippets inside Codelia, or to add plugins and so on as happens, for example, on WordPress. Just copy and paste your snippet inside your files, essentially.
Okay. So Orko is asking which CDN is used by Codelia.
Bunny.net, and all the images, files, essentially all the files that you store through Codelia are delivered through Bunny CDN.
Okay, that's one of the industry's leader in the CDN, right? Bunny CDN. It's awesome. I'm personally using it. It's pretty awesome, because I'm using it on one of the WordPress website that was low. The loading speed was 10 seconds and more, and it was hell. And then I used Bunny CDN, and it's loading within 3 to 4 seconds. It's awesome. And the next question is coming from the folks is asking, what is the difference between Floatic and Codelia?
Yeah, Floatic is another Headless CMS platform, essentially. They have a different API and different features in terms of content modeling, and the use cases in reality could be really the same, even maybe if they are talking about other use cases on their website. But the main differences are about the API and how it works, and the features of the API, essentially, such as filtering and so on, and the features about content modeling. So the real backend where the work happens, essentially.
Okay, and I see that Usman has already answered to that question. So the difference would be the built-in e-commerce capabilities that Codelia processes. You can track orders, customer accounts, and or a payments method. You can do that through Codelia, which I think so. The Floatic doesn't have that kind of capabilities. So that's the advantage of using Codelia over Floatic. And the next question is coming from folks is, what is the use of the site type? Are there any difference in terms of setting of features after I set up a site type? I didn't get this question. Eduardo.
Yeah, I'm reading it. And essentially the site type enables or not the e-commerce features. That's it. So if you set the site type as e-commerce, you will be able to work with the e-commerce features. If you set as website, you will not see the e-commerce features, and you will have less features. That's it, essentially. And are there any difference in terms of settings or features after setup a site type? Yes. Again, only the e-commerce features. If you essentially, if you turn your site into e-commerce and then add content, add orders and customers, and you come back to website, you will not lose your data. So all of your data for the e-commerce side obviously will be kept and will be saved.
So one more question is coming in the chat section. Guys, if you have any questions, please ask in the Q&A section, because we need to scroll up and down to see what kind of questions that you're asking in the chat box. So Nilian is asking, like, very interested to know, to find out what are the advantages of Codelia over something like Seldon as far as e-commerce goes. So I would like to answer this question. Nilian, Seldon is completely different platform that we are discussing over here. Seldon is, it's a hosted platform for your e-commerce solutions, and the Codelia is a headless CMS, wherein it just a CMS, that is content management system. You can just manage the content because your site or the front end is hosted somewhere else, right? And that's it. That's the only difference I can say, because both are complete different platform. If you want to compare it, you can compare it with the floatic.com. You can go over the floatic.com and see what kind of features they are offering, and you can compare that with the Codelia CMS. So the next question is coming from uh, folks. He's asking, what integration do you have? Do you have plans to add Pabbly integrations? That is Pabbly Connect. It's something like a Zapier, which is very popular in the LTD world. So
yeah. Currently, I said earlier, currently we have a Zapier integration as no code integrations. You are free, obviously, to work and to create any other integration with your custom projects, for example, custom applications, or even other popular tools like CRMs and so on. And we are also working to grow partnership and to create partnerships with other tools that can be useful if used with Codelia. So yeah, many other partnerships and integrations will come on during the future. Yeah.
okay, so for the no-code integration, currently only Zapier is there, but as Eduardo is promising that they are going to have multiple integrations all together inside the platform. So if you have any suggestions to do so, you can make a suggestions. Do we have any suggestions request option on the site that you can share it with the audience, Eduardo? And you can showcase the current integrations inside the platform which are available. You can showcase your screen, and
yeah, just give me a moment, I come back. Yeah. Okay, so here we have the main integrations about Zapier, and you can also request new integration.
Yeah, so there is a button if you want to request a new integration, for example, like Pabbly Connect or any of the platform that you want to see it on Codelia. So there is a button you can request a new integration. The team will see if it is feasible to implement it with the Codelia. They will obviously go ahead and do the integrations. So right now we can see it on the screen. There are multiple integrations are available, like you can integrate Instagram, you can integrate Stripe for your e-commerce store, you can integrate PayPal, Zoho CRM, then Pipedrive, then Salesforce for your marketing or email marketing automations. You can integrate Facebook pages, Airtables, right? And then you can have other email marketing solution as well, like HubSpot, MailChimp. You can also integrate Google Sheets, Twitter. And one more question that I have, Eduardo. So right now for the e-commerce solution, we have PayPal and Stripe, right? So do you have any plans to integrate multiple local payment gateways of each country? Like in India, we have Razorpay that is very famous here. So do you have any plans to integrate that? Or can we just request a new integrations from the new integration tab and you can see it and you can do it from your side?
Yeah, currently we don't have in mind such type of integrations directly with payment gateways, because Codelia is a headless CMS and not a headless e-commerce platform, because there are these two types of platforms inside the headless world: headless CMS and headless commerce. So headless CMS is more about the content, as you can see here on Codelia, and then you can obviously integrate it with any other tool. And headless e-commerce is not based 100% around the content, but is more based around the e-commerce side of things. So yeah, you are able to connect directly with payment gateways, for example, without having to do maybe to do integration with the API. But you can manage only the e-commerce side of things.
Okay, so with the help of the APIs, we can integrate any of the payment gateway which is available right now in the market with the Codelia by simply connecting the APIs with their platform and your platform.
Exactly.
So we have question from Unesh. He's asking how SEO works in blocks on Codelia.
So we have some standard. Let me show you in a moment. We have some standard SEO fields and SEO controls. So we have SEO title, SEO description, and SEO index, where we can choose if an article should be indexed or not, and we can add SEO titles and SEO description as well. And from the SEO page, where is it here? We can track all the SEO errors essentially. So if I add a too short SEO title, and usually a too short SEO title is less than 60 characters, it will be reported here. And from here, I will be able to see it, obviously, and to change it and to fix it. And by the other side, we have the high loading speed that we can get to increase the SEO.
Okay, so these are the SEO add-ons or the fields, I can say. So that can be managed because the default SEO parameters has been already set inside the platform, right? So obviously there are the fields which are available, and with the help of that, your content. See, guys, how the SEO thing work. It's really simple, right? So it's basis on your title, basis on your how many long characters or the description that you're using, and main is your content, right? What kind of content, what kind of keywords that you're using in your titles, in your descriptions, right? So what happens is WordPress, we use multiple multiple plugins to optimize the content. Why? Because the WordPress itself is a buggy platform, right? There are a lot of calls which are happening from your server side, and if your codes are clean, if your content is managed on a different platform, and your front end is managed on a different platform, so which boosts the SEO automatically. That's the reason right now most of the e-commerce platforms are doing this way. They are going this way because the ranking that they are getting through managing content from different platform and managing the front end on a different platform, it has given the results so far. And that's the only thing I can say. If you want to know more about it, you can Google it out and you can see what are the benefits of using Headless CMS, how you can achieve the desired SEO content, and how you can optimize the content, and how you can speed up your website by using the Headless CMS. Okay, so the next question is coming from Unesh. Can I make a directory site with listings? Any plan on templates of search web page or web apps like directory, blog, e-commerce site, etc.?
So about the first question, yes, you can make a directory site. You're free to make a directory site even from scratch. And we plan to add some other templates here. And here currently we have the most common ones. So you have, for example, blog website and also e-commerce. But these are only starting points in order to get a quick start to use Codelia. You can start from there and add a specific content model, and then change your content, change your content, your controls, your pages, elements, and so on. Or you can even start from scratch. So from scratch, you can build everything you want and you need without problems.
Okay. So there are multiple, content models or the templates which are right now available, like You can create business websites, blog websites, event website, then portfolio website, membership website, or even the e-commerce websites. And the more templates and the content models are upcoming on the roadmap, they will develop it. So based on your request, for example, the many requests are coming for the, the things that you are willing to do so, like directory website. So obviously the team will develop it and you can use it further. The next question is coming from Munesh. Can you show the preview of forum site?
Yeah, we don't have currently a demo site for the forum. A live site. I mean, I can show you the preview of the content modeling, obviously, of the content models of the forum site. So just added it. And here you can see some pages. For example, we have home, topics, blog, and contacts. And for elements here, we have the topics, the posts, replies, and blog posts. So obviously all the elements are related to the pages, and you can by using the API you can also connect and relate these specific elements between each other. So for example, replies are obviously related to the posts, and to the posts are related to topics. And so through the API, you can obviously build your front end by doing also these relations. And yeah.
Okay, so the next question is coming from Mozum. He's asking, for a newbie like me, how will you explain Codelia's advantages over WordPress, and how can a person who is using WordPress on a site and shift to Codelia?
Yeah, it's simple because Codelia is headless, and the main advantages are related to the content modeling and the content creation. Even on WordPress, there are content creation features, but let's do a real example in order to catch the first advantages. When you are working, for example, on pages on elements here on Codelia, as I showed you earlier, we have our controls, and we can model the content structure of our pages and elements without coding. Essentially, we can add controls in just one click, in seconds, and model our content structure. While using WordPress, if you are obviously if you are working on a custom project development and not working with page builders like visual builders or Elementor. Or stuff like that, you need essentially to add a piece of code each time you want to add a content type. So for example, an element. Elements are just like content types, and so you have in WordPress you already have the post, and then if you want to add I don't know, another element, another content type, content items related to services, you need to add a piece of code inside your theme in order to add this. And then if you want to add meta boxes, input fields, essentially meta boxes are just input fields, you need to add other extra code. And usually you need to require help from a developer, or you need to bring in plugins, external plugins, and slow down your website, and so on. So this is the main advantage, and obviously then we have also the speed, because as you can see, Codelia is very fast even while navigating through pages, while WordPress is heavy, is a heavy platform, and it's hard to get high loading pages and high loading speed, so a great SEO, and so on.
Okay, so I hope this answers your question. And obviously,
sorry if I cut you off. I missed the second question inside the main one. And how can a person who is using WordPress on a side shift to Codelia? It's simple because you can just export in an Excel file, essentially in an XLS file, your data from WordPress, and then, for example, inside Elements, you can bulk add your content by dragging and drop by doing a drag and drop here and importing all of your data through a bulk import. So obviously you can do this with any platform, with any other platform, in order to migrate your content from any other tool to Codelia.
Okay, so in that cases, for example, the Eduardo has explained, like if you want to move your current WordPress website, right, the content especially, then you can export it and you can import the data here. And by that way, you can manage it. But the Mohsen was asking a little different questions, that he was comparing the WordPress and the Headless CMS. What are the advantages and disadvantages, or especially the advantages? Why any person like a newbie, who wants to move away from WordPress hassle and he wants to move to a headless CMS solution like Codelia, then what are the advantages that he was seeking for?
Yeah, the main advantages, as I said earlier, are the content modeling tools, and so you don't need to ask help to developers in order to add custom content structures, pages, elements, input fields, and so on. And the advantages are related to the high loading speed and SEO. And there are also other advantages like better security, because if you have your content platform literally separated from your final project, so from your front end of a website, web application, mobile app, and so on, essentially, there is no way to access your admin area, your Codelia installation, your Codelia account directly from your site, because it's separated.
Right.
While with WordPress, you can just write /WP minus admin, and you can just find the login page and try stuff like brute force attacks and password guessing and so on. So you have also better security.
So the major three advantages I can say, like I can reiterate, is one is speed. Okay. The second one is your SEO content, because you don't have to do a lot of things, because everything is separated and everything is optimized inbuilt. Your content will rank higher and rank faster. And the third and the very, very important point is to move away from WordPress is the security, right? Because a lot of websites are getting hacked, and they can, hackers can easily get into your website, even though you're using any sort of, mechanism or any sort of implementation, security implementation on your site, but it's easy to crack. So that's the reason, people are using custom coded websites to have the better security in place. So if you want to do so, if you want to go in that way, if you want to go for that route, in that cases, you need a solution to manage your content. So that's the reason the Codelia is there to help you out, right? And one more example that I want to reiterate is, for example, you have an e-commerce store on WordPress, and you want to build a custom coded application like Android or iOS. So in that case, is managing and syncing, it's a lot of time, it's a lot of resources, and lot of energy. You need to deploy multiple persons to take care of each and every platform, right? So in that case, is you can head over to this route. You can import any template which is custom coded by for example, HTML based content, or any platform, or any template that you can use it, and you can build a custom coded app, right? You can build a native app, and those things, those two things can be managed from Codelia, right? So that is a bigger advantage that you're getting over over the WordPress, I can say. And guys, do you have any questions? Please ask your questions inside the Q&A box. And let me tell you that we are running a lifetime deal on pitchground.com. So head over to pitchground.com/product/Codelia CMS, wherein you will find this beautiful tool, because nowadays word is heading towards, towards headless CMS, and headless CMS software market to grow at of 22.6% from 2020 to 2027. World is moving faster because people have started, you know, have started taking advantage of this technology like headless CMS technology, and they started looking at the advantages. And that's the reason every e-commerce store, every mobile app is, they are moving to a headless CMS technology. So guys, if you want to know more about the plans and pricing that we're offering on a lifetime deal, let me just, take to that thing. So there are multiple plans. For example, we have a plan starts with $49 for lifetime, in which you will be getting 15 websites and 15 GB of space, then unlimited teammates. You can add it on your workspace. You can have unlimited clients, unlimited custom pages and elements, unlimited elements groups, unlimited controls, unlimited content items, unlimited language, and unlimited API access. Because someone has asked the comparison between Flotic and Codelia CMS. If you go to the flotic.com and if you see the pricing, they are charging based on your monthly calls, right? API calls. They are charging based on the API keys that you're generating. They're charging based on the object types or the content types or content items or the controls that you're using inside the platform. If you want to go for the pro plan of Flotic, they are charging $499 per month, and in which they're offering only 8 million monthly API calls. But we are offering unlimited API access with Codelia CMS in just $49, right? And if you want to go for the higher plans, we have multiple plans for multiple use cases or multiple needs. We have plan B, that is $97 for lifetime, in which we are offering 50 websites and 50 GB of space. And what are the features and the plan? What are the features and the inclusions that I just explained in the plan A, which is available for your plan B as well, right? And we have plan C, that is $197 for lifetime, 100 websites and 100 GB of space. Then we have plan D, that is $297 for lifetime, 500 websites and 500 GB of space. Then if you are a developer, or if you want to start a website development agency, or if you are, go into that route, then you should go for this plan, because this is an ultimate plan, that is plan E, only $397 for lifetime. No need to pay monthly or yearly fee, nothing like that. Just have to pay one-time fee and you get the access of Codelia CMS. You can use Codelia CMS to manage multiple or unlimited websites. You are getting 500 GB of space on your plan, that is plan E, right? So this is a ultimate plan, because if I compare this plan with the flotic.com's plan, they are charging you $499 per month, right? And here we are offering only $397 for lifetime. And if you compare the pricing, obviously you're paying one-time fee here, and there you have to pay $500 just for the 1 month. So you're just paying a 1 month fees or 1 month subscription. If you just compare it with, so you're just paying a 1 month subscription to avail a lifetime benefit plan of Codelia CMS only in $397 for lifetime. So this is a plans and pricing. And yes, on top of it, we are offering a 60 days money back guarantee. And one more thing that I want to, tell you, that the $397 plan, that is unlimited website plan, is available for the limited time. Okay, so if you're planning to do so, if you want to grab that plan, just you have some limited days in your hand, just go and grab that plan, because in some days that plan will be discontinued and you will not have that plan available in the future. So that's the reason, go for the top plan, because it's just a $397 for lifetime, right? So if you divide into a 12 months of subscription, so it's just a $40, I can say, right? So that's it for the plans and pricing, guys. If you have any questions in regards to the plans and pricing or the inclusions, just ask your questions inside the Q&A box. We would be happy to answer all the questions or the doubts that you have. And I think we are not getting more questions. I think it's time to follow the rituals that we follow in each and every webinar, that is a giveaway, right? So guys, it's time for the giveaway. And let me tell you what you want to do, and to win the giveaway code of Codelia CMS today. So I'll tell you the word. Okay, that word you need to type it in the chat section. So the first person who is going to type that word into the chat section, that would be the winner of the today's Codelia CMS code giveaway. So let me tell you the word. I know you guys have already copied the Codelia CMS to just paste it, but I'm not going to say that word. Okay, let me just browse it. Or Eduardo, you want to say that word. Anything, whatever coming in your mind, just say that word. The whoever is writing that word first in the chat box, that person will become the winner of the today's giveaway.
Okay, so any word that came in mind?
Yes, any word.
Any word. Okay. Content Hub.
Okay, so the first person who is writing Content Hub in the... Okay, we got the winner. Unesh wrote only content, but we said Content Hub. So Jason Solomon was the first person who wrote Content Hub in the chat section. Congratulations, Jason! You won the beautiful tool that is Codelia CMS, and we would love to give that giveaway code inside your account. Just ping me your PG account email ID, and your code will be credited to your account within 3 to 5 working days. Just ping me in the chat box. And congratulations once again. Awesome. We got the winner for the today's giveaway. Anything do you want to share, Eduardo, before we wrap up? We would love to get that information, and we would love to see the more upcoming webinars on the use cases, right? Because there are a few newbies, or there are people like me who don't understand the coding language. So we would love to simplify, if you simplify the process of using Codelia. For example, we got few questions comparing WordPress and the Codelia or the Headless CMS, right? So we'd love to get those use cases inside our upcoming webinars. That would be fantastic. Yeah, anything do you want to share before we wrap up?
Yeah. Another thing that I want to share, because I know that many of you probably are not technical people or developers and so on, but we are partnering with agencies, development agencies and IT agencies that can help you to integrate Codelia with your projects, and that are able to work with Codelia. So if you don't have any in-house development team, or you are not a developer or don't have development knowledge, you don't need to hire someone else help teach how Codelia works, show the API documentation and so on. We already have agency partners, so just drop us an email if needed, and we can connect you with them.
Awesome. So that's it from our side, guys. If you have any questions regards to the plans and pricing, if you want to ask anything about the features or the integrations or whatever options that we are offering on a Codelia CMS, or if you have any questions regards to the connections or API documentation, or anything regards to the Codelia CMS, how you can use it, how, what are the benefits, or what are the things that they are using, and anything, right? So you can just ask your questions, and do not forget to check it out, the lifetime deal which you're offering on a pitchground.com. As I said, the top plan, that is plan E $397 plans, is available only for the limited time. And after a few weeks or after a few days, that would be discontinued. So if you're planning to go for the top plan, do not forget to buy right now, because which that plan will not be available for more days. So that's it from my side. And if you have any questions, you can ask your questions inside our community, that is PitchGround community. And you can tag me or Eduardo on your questions. We would be happy to answer all the questions and the doubts you have. Let me share the community URL here. You can join our community and you can interact with the founders. You can interact with the PitchGround team. And that's it from my side. And thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone, for the tuning in for this awesome webinar. And thank you so much, Eduardo, for taking your precious time out and showing how the Codelia CMS can help us in terms of scaling the projects, in terms of faster the marketing and development process. And thank you so much, Usman, for sharing the valuable information and comparing the difference between the traditional CMS and the headless CMS out there in the market, and what are the advantages and benefits of using headless CMS in the upcoming days, and everything whatever you shared, we loved, and we would love to see the use case videos from your side, because people like me, like the non-techie persons, wants to know more about it, because we want to use Codelia CMS in our workflows, right? So I think it's time to wrap up the today's webinar. Before I wrap up, let me reiterate the use cases that Usman has shared. Like, you can use Codelia CMS with websites, like can be used by marketing or IT companies to create websites, get a faster SEO and UX with a faster loading speed, and deliver omni-channel content. If you are into e-commerce, then e-commerce guys can be used Codelia CMS, or the marketing or IT companies or the e-commerce owners to sell products online and deliver omni-channel content from a single or the unique platform or the unique workspace. And if you are into a mobile apps development, then you can use Codelia CMS to create mobile apps to sell products or post articles by managing omni-channel content from one unique workspace. For example, the products of e-commerce can be displayed on an online shop, and at the same time on a native mobile apps being always managed by Codelia. So these are some interesting use cases. And one more thing that I would like to share, that why people are loving Codelia so much over the rest, because it helps you to improve your company work, manage and launch more projects at the same time in a faster way. It has a built-in e-commerce features. It has an omni-channel content delivery system. And there are multiple use cases, and you can manage multiple products and the projects from a single platform. It has exclusive integrations and high security, and they're using a high delivery content delivery network, that is CDNs, to to load your websites, to load your application faster. And that's it from my end. Thank you so much, Eduardo and Usman, for taking your precious time out and sharing some valuable information and demonstrating the tool. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. We'll be seeing you in the next webinar or the live event. Till the time, take care, be happy, and grab your Codelia CMS lifetime deal today. Have a good day, all.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye-bye.